What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Kaiju Live Chat. I am joined by the Hop Toy Boys, Bryan and Shaun. What is going on?
What's up?
Olo. Oh man, I need to be one of them mugs.
These are sold out now. Ooh, very fancy.
I like how it goes into the green screen. Just
Straight up water for me.
This is just iced tea, by the way. I'm trying to act tough.
You just lost it.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Yeah, it's over. So what's going on, everybody? How are things?
Good.
Bueno, very good.
Yes, congratulations, Shaun. I know you just got your shop opened up, so I know that was a long road in the making. So congratulations. If I had a baseball cap, actually, do I? I do not, but I'll tip it over to you, sir.
I sleep it.
All right, so let's dive into this. So how did Hop Toys come to be, and how did you two meet up and say, let's do this thing?
I told this story last time, so Bryan.
All right, I'll tell it this time. So it actually, my version of the story goes back a week further than Shaun's version. So we'll. My wife and I were watching the Netflix Funko documentary, and something just like clicked in my head, and I was like, man, that Funko is like the biggest toy company in the world, and they started off as a dude in his garage, just slinging ideas, whatever he could do, like and he pitched it to somebody, and then it just all went uphill from there. And we were like, why don't we try and make toys? That sounds cool, And then, like, literally within the same week, Shaun asks me about a toy idea that he had, and like if I want to go in on making toys. And it was just like, dude, you have no idea. Like, that's all I've been thinking about for the past week is making toys. It was just like, it was just a crazy coincidence that we both kind of had that at the same exact time. We never met. We've still never met in person.
Really? Still have never met in person? Oh.
And
yeah.
Like, well, he's in Colorado. I'm in Florida. And that's pretty much it. We dove right into it from there. Shaun?
Yeah, it's been great, dude. I mean, people like you, AJ, of course, with your exclusive purchases and, Kickstarter in particular have really helped us. Oh, my God.
What happened? Are you all right, Shaun? Did you freeze? Oh, did Shaun freeze?
Yeah, we're frozen there. I'll take it over. Where he was going with that, the Kickstarter thing, our business has been 100% crowdfunded from the get-go. Everything that we've made so far has been through the good graces of our customers and followers that back everything we do. We've got a pretty awesome base of repeat customers that just really dig what we're doing with the classic sci-fi stuff, and it's all happened pretty quick. We try not to lapse any time in between each project. As soon as we ship everything from one, we start another Kickstarter for the next one. I mean, we have messages every day in our inboxes, through whatever platforms and social media, people asking, what's next? What's next? When can I get this? I want this now. Like, we're literally answering questions every day. Like, it's coming. You got to wait. We got, it's crazy.
Sorry, I think I'm back for good now.
Yeah, you're back. You're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if Shaun, if you're doing it via your phone, it might cut in and out several times on you. So just a heads up.
Yeah, that's okay. Future reference. I'll use my PC next time.
So what made you guys decide on the retro sci-fi line? Like, why was that the starting point?
It wasn't.
Yeah, no, we originally wanted to start with Mothman, and that was totally the starting point, but that one just failed. Like, I think with the Mothman, we went into Kickstarter, we were like, okay, we need shirts and pens and figures. And
it was a mess.
$25,000, we can do this. And it was nothing like that.
Yeah, it
you
was such a massive flop. It was
yeah.
And the thing, like, I sculpted it by hand. Basically, the idea was we were going to have this whole line, and we're probably still going to go back to it at some point now that we've lived and learned about toy making. Cryptid Kaiju was going to be the first line. That was going to be all the cryptid creatures, the Mothman, Bigfoot, Jersey Devil, Chupacabras, all
Jersey
that.
Devil. Nice.
So, so we started off with the Mothman, and we spent a ton of money on artwork, and we spent a ton of money on like all this stuff we didn't need, and we were just buried by the time we went to the Kickstarter. And I think what Shaun said, it was like $25,000 or something like that. We were like, yeah, we got this, and it just like nothing. Like nobody was. What did we raise? 1,400 out of 25,000 or something like that. I think it was $1,400.
Damn, that little, because the design was awesome. I remember
you
showing me.
Love it.
I remember you made that crazy like
here and there.
You made that like crazy green marble one.
Yeah.
That,
nobody bought it. It's still here.
What? Tom didn't buy that? I thought Tom was buying that.
No. I thought a bunch of people were buying that. But
it's still for sale, man.
Post it back up in the group.
I mean, it's such a cool sculpt. I mean, we get so many compliments about it, and we sell them here and there. They're just, that was my first time molding something to be a toy, a figure with separate parts that had to fit together and stuff. And the molds are just really intricate. It's super hard to make them. Mm-hmm. And then we thought, well, we're just going to have them made in vinyl, no big deal. But then we found out the molds were going to be like $9,000 to make it in vinyl. So we back to the drawing board on that one. So we do a couple of them here and there in resin. So it's not a complete failure. That's still kind of our baby, but someday.
Bryan makes those at home too. He has a big old homemade rotocast. It's too fun.
Yeah, I got the rotocaster. I got the pressure chamber. I've got all the casting stuff. I got a whole toy making workshop over here now.
Nice. When we initially went into this, we were like, okay, so Bryan, you can do most of this out of your garage, right? He's like, oh hell yeah, we got this. And then my second project comes around, we're like, okay, we got to find manufacturers. This is ridiculous.
I was using a pressure casting pot that I rigged from just random parts from Harbor Freight. And every time I set the pressure, as soon as it went up to like 30 PSI, which was like half of what's necessary, I would hear like creaking and bending in the metal. And like I would literally stand behind a piece of plywood like a blast shield when I used this thing because I was so afraid of it. So just recently, a few months ago, we made some money and we upgraded to a legit pressure caster. So I have no longer fear for my life with these things.
And he is still making a bunch of stuff at home too. Like those MOTU are all going to be made out of his, for the most part, depending on what we do with those. But Bryan's making most of those.
Yeah. So do all the sculpting.
How big are those going to be? Like those are like your straight up standard old Master of the Universe.
5.5 inches, man.
And is that further down the pipeline, or is that something coming out relatively?
Our pipeline always seems to fill up pretty quick every time we dive into something. So I don't think we'll be waiting too long for that.
Awesome. So, yeah, no, we got a lot of people love those like style figures for sure.
Oh yeah, it's huge. That's Shaun introduced me to that. I was at first kind of like, the He-Man thing, all right, but he convinced me that the 5.5 crowd, man, they're ravenous. They love that stuff. They eat it up.
Nice.
So
they just came out with a new He-Man line for kids, and the adults are like, "Those are all mine," and they've just bought all of them. Like they're coming out with Imagine X He-Man. I'm sure those are gonna fly off the shelf in old men's hands. Like, I got an Imagine X castle, bitch.
Well, that's like how I don't know, like Bandai kind of like hit that with like Power Rangers stuff. Like, they were just like, you know what? All the kids that used to watch our show are now adults. So let's make them adult figures and collectibles. Yep. And those things, I still have to get the flute, the dagger from the Green Ranger. I need that at some point in my life.
You don't see kids in the toy aisle anymore, man. You go in the
What's
toy
pretty
aisle now.
cool though is
There's no toy aisle. What is the toy aisle now? Walmart?
yeah,
Like,
but
that's it.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the last year or so, toy companies are wising up. They're going back, like kind of taking a step back and making toys playable again. You know, it's you see like at first glance, some of this stuff looks like it's, yeah, the quality doesn't look as nice or whatever, but you got to think about what it is. It's a toy. Like, Walmart put out those Aliens toys last year.
Those rocks.
They're awesome. I love them.
Yeah.
Those are toys, They're not like, I love NECA, but that's an adult collectible. It's not a toy. It's you try to pose it the wrong way, 1 millimeter in the wrong direction, it breaks. Mm-hmm. So it's, I like where toys are going right now. It seems like everything's becoming more about playability again these days, and that's just awesome.
That what's that? I think there's that McFarlane line.
Just with like super cool.
Yeah, those like hybrid
animals.
Yeah, look incredible, and they're like $20.
I saw them for the first time in Walmart today. Yeah, and I've been seeing them online all over the place, but I didn't realize that Cygor figure, man. He's like 12 inches tall.
Yeah, he's a 30 centimeter X plus basically. I've seen shots with him next to some of the Godzillas. I'm like, I'm gonna have to get that.
I saw that one, and I saw the shark today. Like the shark, like all the articulation in the shark, like he's pretty bendy. I didn't get that from the images online. I want them all.
So I like the shark a lot more than the Cygor because he's on that fixed pose. I'm not down with the fixed pose with figures like that.
His arms turned down too, but it's.
But he still looks weird.
Yeah, I know.
He just gets all buff. That's all.
You're right.
So a couple people in the chat are talking about some of your flying saucers and giant heads. Do we want to go into that a little bit, or?
That's not H.O.P toys.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But yes.
Yeah, that's. They can DM us on the side for that, but we try not to go into the Godzilla stuff with H.O.P toys just because the licensing and everything and.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
But we do make fan art.
Individually, we make everything you can imagine. Like personally, I and Bryan, our repertoire between us is crazy, man. Bryan's has suits, cosplay, Swamp Thing, Juggernaut. Who's the one that you have the green suit, man, with the big old camera?
Ronan the Accuser.
All sorts of badass shit. I haven't gotten quite to that level yet, man, but
that's kind of where I started with all the homemade, the making, even the toys and stuff. Learning how to do all this kind of stuff was through cosplay.
I wish I would have known you earlier when you had the the shark with the Vin Diesel puppet.
Oh yeah, Street Shark.
Yeah, I would have been all over. That's one of the best things I've ever seen.
That was probably the most fun that I had wearing a costume. People really dug that. That was cool. And there was 3 of us,
to a whole new level.
like you can't see it from the pictures, and unfortunately, there's just no video. But like every time we made the jaws on springs, so every time we stepped, they would the jaws would bob up and down, and we could make them talk just by moving our heads inside and stuff.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, they were fun.
And that's actually how me and Bryan met. I hired him to do a Godzilla costume for me.
Do tell. Go ahead, go into it. Let's go.
It's like a third done. We started doing all this, and then it was just like I haven't made costumes in forever. I'm like, I don't know. I'll get back to that sometime eventually.
It's on the back burner. So
we had this grand idea of going to G-Fest as Godzilla and Jet Jaguar with tag team belts and
that would have been awesome.
We're gonna do that. Still.
We're gonna do it. It's gonna happen eventually.
Oh, you goddamn! I'm not gonna die happy until that happens.
I'll bring a ref shirt. I'll referee.
Yeah.
All right. So I know the Saucer Man was the first in line of the retro sci-fi, but now to the second big release. There he is in all his beauty. We're actually sold out. We just sold out of the original there. We do have one more brown still in stock. But anyway,
The brown one's cool because how many of those were there? There was like just a handful. Those were basic.
I don't think there's a lot.
That's basically the factory prototype.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's kind of a selling point there. Hint, hint.
Kaiju Live shop. So now next up we have the Robot Monster, and this is officially licensed. So do you want to go into how that came to be? Because I'm sure that was an exciting. Or
people really ate up the Saucer Man, and it's we realized that that was kind of this untapped vein there with the old school sci-fi stuff. As we were looking further into it, there's so many great characters that just never really got any kind of merchandise love. There's, like I said before, there's a couple bootleg garage kits of stuff around, and things that people make in their houses and whatever, but there's no mass-produced awesome toys from these things, and these are classics. These are just historically important pieces of cinema that just never got the love, never got the treatment. And people just from the get-go, the Saucer Man was a hit. So we were like, all right, so we got to find what's next. What else hasn't been done in this area? I don't know how we came to settle on Robot Monster.
He was just the coolest out of all of them.
Yeah, he was just like design-wise. He would make the coolest toy. I mean, he's the gorilla with a space helmet. Why not?
I think the big thing for him was we were able to access the licensor.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these places, we've had a very difficult time getting a hold of licensing or even anyone to talk to about it.
We send out licensing inquiries, on a weekly basis, just all over the place. And, I would say maybe like 97% of the time, we just never hear back. So luckily with Robot Monster, he's owned by a actor named Wade Williams. He's been in all kinds of stuff. Prison Break. He's in Westworld. He was. I just saw him the other night when I watched Venom again. He's in Venom. But yeah, he basically went up and he bought up a bunch of old licenses of all these old sci-fi retro movies from the 50s, and he's got this library of films and never really nobody ever really did anything with them. So he was very approachable. We got in with him pretty quick. He was really on board with the idea from the get-go, and we just dove into it, set up the design, went into the Kickstarter, and people were like, oh my God, yes! So that one was a staggering success. That was even more so than the Saucer Man. What did we have to raise for the Saucer Man? It was like 4,000 something?
4,200, I think.
Yeah, but the Robot Monster, he's a much bigger figure and much more detail, and he's that one ended up like $16,000. We were like, we were a little scared getting into it, but people were just like, yes. And we already had a great following from the Saucer Man figures. I mean, basically anybody that has a Saucer Man figure bought a Robot Monster figure too. So, thank you. It's just we had some setbacks. This guy was supposed to come out in like April.
Everyone had setbacks,
but the factories were shut down for like 4 months, and the whole thing just went, did what it did. But the factories picked it back up pretty quick as soon as they could get back to work, and they knocked it out of the park. So,
did you have the? I'm sorry. Good.
Oh, I just think we're super excited about this one, man. It's by far the coolest one, in my opinion. I like Saucer Man, but he's such a weird shaped figure. He's just weird. But Robot Monster is just fantastic, man.
So, Brian, did you have the costume first, or did you make the costume after? Yeah.
I had the costume. The costume was I got invited to Dragon Con in Atlanta to be a cosplay guest, and they wanted me to do some panels at a cosplay workshop. Dragon Con is, I guess if you go by attendance, is bigger than San Diego Comic-Con. It's massive. Really? It's not confined to a convention center. It's entire downtown Atlanta. All the hotels, CNN Center, everything is all Dragon Con. So they had me there as a cosplay guest and doing panels in a cosplay workshop. And I was like, well, I guess I need a costume. I didn't have anything at the time. I had just sold my last costume. And I was like, I literally had like less than a day to come up with something. So I just sewed together a big monkey suit and made the helmet out of a recyclable beer keg ball that I had hanging around. And yeah, I was
talk about like totally following the movies, because that's about how they made them.
Yeah, that's basically how they did it. I mean, it was, they shot that movie on $1,600 over 3 days.
They don't make them like that anymore. That's incredible.
So yeah, and I was, you know what, I thought it was like this, just like out of the field, you know, kind of thing. Nobody would even know what it was. I mean, you know, I'm a big sci-fi geek, so you know, it was something that I had grown up with, but like I didn't think anybody would even get the costume, but so many people did. I was like, wow, this is great. They loved me.
I remember the first time I had seen that movie was based as a kid, Mystery Science Theater. Like,
oh yeah,
and so it was always kind of like when I was seeing the like when you guys showed it off, I'm like, why do I remember this thing?
Everybody knows it, even if you've never seen the movie. If you don't know anything about it, you know the monkey in the space helmet. Yeah. It's like you've seen it somewhere.
But then when
there's been a bunch of other unlicensed figures too that have recently popped up that I've seen that are like little chibi robot monsters. So it's a design that's all over the place.
Yeah,
it's just a wide design.
But we're the only licensed one.
Yes.
Officially licensed. All right. So I'm actually gonna go full screen to Bryan here. Bryan's about to show off the Kaiju Live Exclusive. So super excited about this. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. All right, Bryan, go ahead, take it away.
Crowd is cheering, and he's entering the arena.
It's good. So I'm sure this is going to be, super hard.
I'm trying to get him in the frame there. Is that what?
Well, you have, I guess you must have blur on your Skype. It's blurring your background, so it's kind of blurring him out. No, he looks fine.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So,
so that is
the first figure.
Well, that's annoying. So yeah, this is the Kaiju Live Exclusive. He is a big, beefy figure cast in a kind of a grayish. Oh my God, I'm trying to keep him in frame here.
If you go Bryan, if you go to your Skype, just
clear
turn off
vinyl with silver and gold glitter. And there's tons of glitter. He is loaded with glitter. It's hard to see, but oh geez, all right, forget that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep him in front of me. I think that's the
unveiling of the century.
And the skull glows in the dark. He comes with interchangeable heads. This is the classic. This is what he looked like in the movie. He just had like that flat face. And then on the movie posters, he had this awesome skull face. So we wanted to incorporate that into some of the exclusive designs. So he's got interchangeable heads. He stands 13 inches tall without the antenna. He's got gold antenna. He's got this real metal array in between the antennas. The antennas are cast in nylon, so they're like super unbreakable. Yeah, that's him in all of his glory.
Yeah, I am so freaking pumped up.
And he is a big, beefy figure. Wait till you guys see this thing. He is like, he's awesome. He's heavy. I mean, it's good sheet.
I think he would fit in well on an X Plus shelf. Like, he's about that size.
Yeah, with the antennas, was he probably almost 14?
Mm-hmm. You know what? I got a ruler right here. With the antennas, he's about 15. So, oh yeah, he's taller than I said. He's actually
beefy, extra thick.
Yeah, he's about 13 inches to the top of the helmet and about 14 and a half to the top of the antennas.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard to tell. Even even when you get it in hand, picture never does glitter
Yeah,
justice. It's
and
always
glitter
really
is
hard to
super
capture.
hard to photograph, but he is loaded with glitter. He's awesome.
Yeah,
He
the
looks
shots
like
that we got.
looks like a TV static kind of effect, which makes total sense for what he is.
Yes,
So.
we're calling this the static signal version, and this is an exclusive to Kaiju Live only.
Show you the packaging here.
Oh, and this is the coolest part. The header card.
It's so blurry.
No, you can't see it now.
Why is it blurry?
You got your settings on.
Yeah, I think on your if you go to your video settings, I think you have your blur background on, and that's why it's doing
that's something I can change now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can fix this. Hold on.
Hey, no problem. So if you're interested, go to kaijulive.shop. It's actually on our main page, and we should be getting them in next week. Is that accurate to say?
Yeah, late next week should be.
And then we'll be shipping them right out. These are limited to 50 pieces, so get them while they're hot.
Right, fixed it.
Yeah, there you go. That's why it was. So the Kaiju Live logo is on the header card. It is the hypest. I can't. It's just. Thank you guys so much for this. I'm struggling to even find the words.
First ever Kaiju Live exclusive licensed piece, correct?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This is, and hopefully the first of many. But yes, this is the very first ever officially licensed Kaiju Live exclusive.
We've got a project to talk to you about after this.
Oh boy,
you are going to be excited about. I'm excited. We got some art for it today that we can't show off yet, and it is thrillingly cool. I think we can talk about the project, right, Bryan? Because we have
which one?
The My Mad Monster.
Yeah, totally. We just can't share the pictures.
Yes. So we are redoing, not redoing, but kind of like the evolution of My Pet Monster. He's going to be a vinyl figure. What were you saying, like 9-10 inches tall, Bryan?
He'll be at least 10 inches tall.
Yep. And we're working with the original designer of My Pet Monster to create this new vinyl figure. It's going to be a ginormous, evil-looking, basically pissed-off, older version of My Pet Monster. And, same deal as always. We're going to Kickstarter exclusives for anyone who wants it. And I think out of all the things we've done so far,
this thing is we are so excited for this project. It's My Pet Monster was our buddy. I didn't go anywhere without My Pet Monster when I was a little kid. So when we saw James Groman, who is the artist, when we saw him post this picture on his Instagram page, it was just like a concept sketch that he had done of like what My Pet Monster would look like if he was, here we are 30 years later.
Yeah.
And he posted this picture and immediately I was like, oh my God, we got to make that.
I have to make this. Yeah.
And he's been super cool from the get-go. And we're just so excited to be working with him on this. Anybody might know some of his other more recent work with, the King Corpse figure, the Rotten Rex figure, Kaiju Killer. He's just got these just massive, just crazy awesome art toys that he makes with Instinct Toys and Lulu Bell and now Hop Toys. So yeah, that's going to be coming in September.
Awesome. Yeah. Tim, thank you so much.
We got new concept pictures of it today that we can't share yet. So it's just.
All right. Can't wait to see it. Tim O just ordered the static signal and got the brown saucer man. So now the brown saucer man is gone. I don't even know if you can get him ever again.
The brown saucer man just needed a little bit of love.
Yeah.
That's a factory prototype version. That's something to have.
Thank you so much, guys. That's awesome. I'm gonna cut back to Bryan one more time since now he's got.
Now it's not blurry, so now we can show this
blurry
better.
So hold on a second. So another beautiful look. Look at that beefy boy.
Oh.
Now it's just amazing.
Now it's still blurry.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? Okay, so I see something different than you. I wish I could show the glow in the dark, but you have pictures of that.
Yeah. If you want to see the glow in the dark on the skull, which glows green, it's awesome. I love how the glitter shows through.
Yeah, it does.
So it just gives it an extra. Now,
we had a bunch of.
let's give you guys.
Here, I'll swap the head so you can see the head pops out. It's designed with it's got a joint that's designed for popping in and out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you don't got to go crazy heating this thing.
Yeah, you don't have to
want.
heat it up or anything. It just takes a little bit of force, and it only fits in there one way. There's 2 little grooves in the back, and that fits the 2 little tubes on the back of the helmet. So it just pops right in.
Awesome.
Oh, sexy.
Yeah, Dan, I did get your order, and I don't know if you tuned in a couple minutes ago, but we should be getting them in late next week, and as soon as they're in, we'll be getting them out. Bryan, do you want to show off the plushie that you guys also have available?
Yeah, also, here's the standard version. Actually, this one, this is the packaging of the standard version, if you're okay showing that off too.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We're very proud of it. So that's our, this is the deluxe version, actually. Just comes with the silver second head. Comes packaged with the flat face on, just like in the movie, but he comes with the extra silver head. The Kaiju Live Exclusive will come with the skull head attached and the flat face head loose in the bag. Let's see here. Yeah, the plush. Let's show off the plush.
Yeah, let's Robot Monster.
I've seen those bags, and I am so stoked, man. Those look so cool.
Yeah, the header cards look unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like in quality.
Yeah.
Even that looks unbelievable. The gloss on that.
Yeah, I love these
knocked it
cards.
out of the park.
This thing is like it's the thickness of like an auto air freshener. It's like this, like you can't bend this card. It's awesome.
It was like man.
So this is the Roman plush, the officially licensed Robot Monster Deluxe plush. He's 15 inches tall. He has a vinyl helmet that is removable to show the sinister skull underneath.
So sinister.
Yeah, right.
There's nothing more sinister. This one was fun, man, because we got to work with multiple companies on this one. Bryan, mostly. He's been working with these companies a lot, but we had to work with a plush company who had to work with a vinyl company to produce, the helmet and the plushie separately, which were then those were shipped to us separately too, right, Bryan? You had to.
Yeah. They were shipped separately.
Yeah. Yep.
The cards were shipped separately. Everything was. I have to punch the tags. I have to assemble the helmets and bag them and all that stuff. But even the Robot Monster figures, I still find it interesting. We worked with 1, 2, 3, 4 separate factories in making the Robot Monster vinyl figures. The main vinyl factory does the bulk of the figure. And then we had a second factory that did the injection molded parts, which are the antennas. And then a third factory did the custom. I actually had to have these. Well, we had to have these custom metal springs made to fit precisely on these antennas. So, it's tight, it's snug, it doesn't wiggle. So that's like a custom spring that joins in the middle.
When have you ever seen a vinyl toy that incorporates metal? I mean, come on, that's cool.
It was the only way to do it. We didn't want something that was just going to break. Making something that thin in plastic or anything, it's going to break. And it would break in shipping, it would just be a mess. So we were like, you know what? Let's just put a real metal spring on there. So we found a metal bending factory, and they hooked it up.
Lots of my creativity.
Yep.
Incredible.
So yeah, but that's the plush also, and he's on the cuter side. As you see, we just gave him these little balls instead of the antenna because obviously we don't want like some kid to have this and poking their eye out with the antenna. Yeah, so he's he's cute. He's
I'm gonna have to grab one for Abby for sure.
He wants to kill you, but he's cute.
Oh yeah,
and for these ones that are made for kids, we got to meet different requirements than we do with the adult ones.
Oh
We literally have to follow like safety standards when they're not intended for adult collectors. If you put that on the card,
Robot Monster,
we have to have so many things on the cards, like for like, oh yeah, there's a lot of politics in toy making. It's not just, you know, make it and throw it out there. We actually have to conform to all these standards and things, and yeah.
Yeah, like Robot Monster, the first kill is a little girl, so maybe it's not the best thing.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
I'm gonna take a risk.
Yeah, I think everybody when they watch that movie the first time is like,
yeah, that was.
It's like, that just 0 to 60, just like that. It was cute and shit. There was bubble guns, and now there's a dead girl.
yeah, it's like, wow, this escalated quickly.
Yeah, dude.
That Robot Monster just murdered that little girl.
He just straight up murdered, right? Just like that.
Will rape this human woman.
You know what my favorite part of the movie is, though, and it's kind of funny, and I want to find. This would be a grail item for my collection. My favorite thing about the movie is the sound effect that's made by the kid's gun, his little ray gun toy. He's got this little, like, you know, cosmic ray gun, old tin toy from the 50s that he has in the movie. And I guess, Shaun, you're the one that told me that it was like his own personal toy from home that he just brought to the movie set and used it.
We do a lot of business with Monsters in Motion, and that guy is a customer of theirs. I forget his name, the guy who played the kid, but he came in and saw that they were doing their own Robot Monster and was like, oh man, I'm the little kid from that movie, and he started talking.
He wants to sign the header cards and everything. Like, he wants to actually like do something with us. But anyway, that ray gun from the movie makes the craziest sound effect, and that for some reason that's like the best part of it for me. I want to find that gun.
Spaceships hanging from like fishing wire that are just like
bubble machine.
Yeah, everything.
Yes,
you know, the bubble machine gets its own credit for the movie. It's actually in the credits.
That's amazing. So if any of you have been on, if you've been on Hop Toys' Facebook and you've seen a commercial for the Robot Monster and someone in a Robot Monster suit, that is Bryan. That's Bryan, 100% all the way.
That was the most impressive shit about it. And, you know, that was a big part of the reason why we made Robot Monster, because we're like, well, we got this sweet costume.
We got the costume. We can use this.
Why not?
Yeah.
I should be using it more.
Right? No,
I mean,
right now.
I'm a little disappointed.
I actually wore it to the grocery store about a month ago.
Yeah,
that's a good COVID mask. Watch out, human. So I don't think we have any shots of this, but there was the green Jello 3 Little Pigs that you guys are working on.
Yeah, that's still going to happen. You know, it's this is just like another weird connection that I've made along the way. Bill Manspeaker from Green Jello. Some of you know them as Green Jelly from back in the day, but Green Jello is the proper on record saying of the band's name. Bill Manspeaker is the head of the group. He's the singer. He's the, you know, the entity behind it. And we met online one day. He was like, "Hey, I'm a big fan of your costumes." I'm like, "Dude, I'm a big fan of your music." And we were like, "No way, no way." So it just like, and he's just the coolest guy. And we were talking about you know, toys and making toys as like an anniversary thing for the release of his the 3 Little Pigs heavy metal song and video from back in like 1994. Even if you don't know the band, you know the song. It's everybody knows it.
You should go YouTube that after this.
Yes, after this, this is your homework. Go watch Green Jello's 3 Little Pigs video if you haven't seen it. It's stop motion claymation, a retelling of the 3 Little Pigs to a heavy metal tone. It's got Rambo and all kinds of stuff in it. So we are still very much on board to do this. It's just, you know, things happen and things come up and things get pushed around, but we are definitely still planning on doing the Green Jello 3 Little Pigs action figures. But yeah,
the whole COVID shit.
It's just that just threw us all out of whack. So
yeah,
without that going on, I think we would have done much better.
I mean, I guess it's a good problem to have that we have all these, things that we're ready to release. Like I said before, we literally have no lapse in anything. It's like we release something, we get them shipped out to the initial backers, and then we're right into the next thing. And, we're not letting anything slow us down. We maxed out the corporate card, making these Misfits figures on, the plushes and stuff like that. Into it. So we've been just, tearing it up the best we can in these weird times.
So, speaking of the Misfits line, I just pulled it up. I just covered my face with them. Okay. These are what's coming in the pipeline. So, yeah, go ahead. Keep going, boys.
Yeah. Misfits.
The giant claw. Let's go. I cannot wait for that.
So we're super excited about these. We love old 90s toys, old late 80s toys. And, I was talking to Shaun one day about Monster in My Pocket. I just absolutely loved Monster in My Pocket when I was a kid. There were nothing. There were these little gummy figures. They were, I think, what are they, like 2 inches tall, if that? And they were...
an inch. They're crazy small.
Yeah, they were slimy, like the material never fully cured. Like they were just, these basic little designs. There was 48 of them in the first series, and they came in 4 colors and no articulation, nothing. They were just little gummy figures. So we thought about making like some classic sci-fi characters in that same format, but a bigger. So that's when we at first they were just going to be cast in like a semi-flexible resin, so that they would just be kind of more like the original Monster in My Pocket figures, one solid piece, straight out of a 2-piece mold. But we realized pretty quick that vinyl was really the way to go with these. We've got a good, there's a good vinyl crowd out there with designer toys and everything. So I'm really glad we did, because they just came out so awesome. They're so much fun. I've been playing with these things just nonstop for a couple weeks now.
I'm straight jealous. Like, where we hurry up and send them. I want some.
So
they're amazing.
These, they come in 4 colors: purple, orange, red, and green. They have light articulation. It's not, they weren't made to be that way, but that's just the way the vinyl molds work. There's these little chibi figures, and they're just fun, and we're selling them dirt cheap. They're super collectible. This is kind of like we're everybody's H.O.P toys. We want to have something for everybody. Not just big $100 figures. These guys we sold these for $12 on the Kickstarter.
Awesome. And how many different variants are there?
There's a total of 16 variants. There's 4 different designs. Each one comes in 4 colors. Let me get all 4 here. So we got the Roman, and this is the bright orange. They're the 3 standard figures are 4 inches tall. Here's the Saucer Man in the red. Here's the classic James Arness thing in purple. Oh, and you can see they have our awesome logo stamped in the bottom of the foot there.
Oh, that's sick. That is sick.
And the idea with each Misfits series, and there will be more, is that you have the 3 standard size figures, and then you have the 1 jumbo figure. So those 3 are 4 inches, and then we find one, Dai Kaiju sized character that we're going to do as the jumbo one, and so that we chose the giant claw.
Beautiful. Came out incredible.
The theme for Series 1, these are all aliens. So the theme was invasion. So this is Misfits Series 1, Invasion. Again, there's 16 different options, 4 colors, 4 figures. They come in an awesome classic blister pack style with a hand-illustrated art card from our... we hired a color pencilist, Jerry Chacon, and he did an awesome job with that. We hired our buddy... Kevin, he goes by Johnny Innsmith over at Sea Demon Vinyl, did the amazing sculpts on these guys. And those are going to be here tentatively September 10th. And we've got a ton of them, so we're planning on slinging these things all over the place. They're, like I said, they're super cheap, super collectible. and they're just so fun. These are probably the most fun thing we've made so far, in my opinion.
Does that doesn't by a chance glow, does it? Whenever I see that color.
No.
Okay.
No,
Whenever I see that color, I'm like, does it glow?
We thought about maybe down the line when we release maybe Series 2, and we'll talk about that in a second. When we release Series 2, we might go back and do like a re-release of Series 1 in like a glow-in-the-dark variations or something like that. Monster in My Pocket did something similar. When they released Series 2, they came back and re-released Series 1 with neon colors. So that was like, But yeah, so you want to talk about Series 2, or we?
Yeah, well, that's the horror ones, right?
From Heck.
Okay, from Heck. Yeah.
Series 1. Series 1 is the invasion because they're aliens.
Yeah.
So
and then we got
Series 2.
We know
Series 2 is Misfits from Heck because they're all going to be demon characters.
Yeah.
So
probably
I think we figured we decided on 2 of the smaller figures and the bigger figure. I think we're still looking for the third smaller figure, but we're looking at. Yeah, we always look for. We don't want like the mainstream. We don't want like the something that everybody's gonna recognize right away. Like we're going with Rawhead Rex. We're going with a Pazuzu, but not like Reagan style, like the actual Pazuzu. We're going to take the statue and make him like Chibi style. So he's going to have the wings and he's going to have his phallic object. And he's just, going to be a little Chibi style Pazuzu. And the jumbo figure in Series 2 is going to be the Demon from Night of the Demon, or Curse of the Demon is the other release title for it.
AJ's never heard of that one. I saw
I saw that look on your face.
Like,
that's your homework.
Yeah, it's my homework.
Curse of the Demon is fantastic old movie. Big, gnarly demon, wings and hair and horns and teeth, and he's huge. And in the climactic scene of the film, he's like coming like down a train track. There's trains everywhere, and he's coming at like right at the train. So our figure is gonna be a Chibi style. He's gonna be riding a train like a little kitty, kitty ride. It's gonna be awesome. Series 2.
Oh, yeah, this thing does look badass.
Oh, you're looking at it right now?
Yeah, he's kind of like...
It's a great movie.
He's like if King Caesar got really, really pissed off.
Yeah, kind of. He definitely came first, though. He came before.
Oh, yeah. Was this 1957? Yeah.
Something like that.
Awesome. Yeah. That's wicked.
So we always like to go for the obscure stuff, like Rawhead Rex. We're both super psyched to make stuff with Rawhead Rex.
Yeah, that one in particular, I'm happy about, man, because it's just, there's like some of the most fucked up scenes in that movie.
That movie is just.
Dan, I believe it is the one from the Famous Monsters cover, because there's definitely one of that. I see a picture of it.
Oh, Famous Monsters? Absolutely. Basil Gogos. That's one of the most iconic images of the demon from all time.
Yeah.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Awesome.
Yep. Awesome.
All right.
But yeah, we
have rounded out most of what we have coming down the pipeline. But we'll probably have 3 more projects.
We've been talking about more Misfits, and we've discussed like 4 different series, but nothing.
Oh, I forgot those too. Damn, yeah. Those are. We already have those in the works.
Who's next in the retro line? Have you guys decided?
Oh, geez, yeah, of course. That's actually going to be our most imminent release, I guess, is The Thing. So
I figured he was next.
Yeah. In the 12-inch series with the Robot Monster and the Saucer Man, we're also doing the classic The Thing from Another World, James Arness style. I don't have anything to show here right now, but we do have pictures. I'll give them to you, and you can post them or whatever later. We have the prototype done and everything. It's already in the factory's hands. They're already figuring all that out for us, and we're probably going to be running that Kickstarter in less than a month, I think.
Nice.
Got a lot of people excited for that one. A lot of people have been waiting for that one. That's going to be a super cool figure. Again, it's going to have exclusive accessories to the Kickstarter campaign. We always like to give everyone a little added bonus incentive to support us in the crowdfunding stage. So we try to throw in a little something cool with everything in there. So he's going to have a interchangeable arm with the 4x4 piece of wood that he's got in the climactic scene of the film.
Okay.
So he's going to have like a battle-damaged arm with his big wooden plank in his hand, interchangeable with his regular arm. So that's going to be such a cool figure. He's going to be about, I think, 12.5 inches tall. He's going to come fully painted. We're going to have blanks. Yeah, keep an eye out for that one. He's going to be coming up pretty quick here.
All right. Maybe there'll have to be another glitter bomb version. We'll have to see.
I've got a couple ideas. He gets electrocuted in the end of the movie, so there's definitely some possibilities there.
Since The Thing is one of my favorite movies of all time, not that one, the
talking about John Carpenter version.
Yeah, the John Carpenter's Thing.
Same here. It's my favorite. That's my favorite horror movie of all time.
Is that anything that can ever be in the pipeline, or is that like copyrighted to like impossible to ever get?
Better.
It's so borderline with that one. The original concept was back in, I want to say it was in the 1920s, 1930s. It started as a short story called Who Goes There?
Yeah.
And if you Google that, the story itself had a really cool design on the cover of what the alien, the original illustrated version of the alien looked like. And I don't think I've ever pitched this one to you yet, Shaun, but that's something I think we should make at some point too, is that version from the cover of the old book. But
that'd be sweet.
So it evolved from this short story into the Thing from Another World, which is the one we're doing. And then, John Carpenter took it one step further, and it's kind of cool the way these movies all link together, because it's a remake, but at the same time, they fit like a puzzle, so they all make sense together. And I really like how each individual, studio and director, writer, whoever, really, made them work together. So it's all over the place, the rights to the Thing. I think it's, who has it right? And it was like either one of those Universal or something like that.
Yeah, I think because Universal's the one that ruined the prequel, or whatever you want to call it.
Man, you know what they did to ruin that is they took out the practical effects.
The practical effects were dynamite.
Yeah, the studio literally came in and was like, "How do we destroy this movie? Oh, take away the one thing that really makes that movie stand the test of time. Just take it away."
Yep.
It's like,
and honestly, I still like it. I still like that version, but it could have been so much better.
I don't hate it.
And
I just
that fucking film. The ending would have been so much better.
The ending kind of went a little like.
Yeah, the ending was too much. Because for me, it just didn't make any, like, a lot of stuff. They just made like create bigger loopholes or plot holes than originally was there. Yeah. The one thing that I just can't let it go is, how can you not get a dog that looks the same? Like, it's, how many huskies there are in the world? You could have got one that looked especially since you were going for we're going to make a transition so you can watch these movies back to back. It's like the dog changes. It's like, how? It's a standard black and white husky. How do you mess that up? I don't understand.
The thing, no matter how you feel about Star Wars, man, the thing I love about them recently is they have re-ushered in the age of practical effects, man. Like Baby Yoda, I wasn't sure if
the Mandalorian
Dark Crystal led to Baby Yoda or vice versa, but them bringing puppetry back and just the magic of physical shit on screen is something to really respect about how they make those bits of media.
Do you guys have Disney Plus?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So have you seen the behind the scenes of the Mandalorian? Have you watched that series yet?
I think we did. I don't remember.
Yeah, what Favreau is doing, the blending, the whole, the fact that he brought in video game engines to basically create a full 3-dimensional dome of LED screens. So everything that the actors are now seeing is actually real in real time. So all they have to do is build these sets you know, and then the surrounding area is completely done, you know, digitally, but they're actually seeing it. No one has to pretend that something's there anymore. It's unreal.
Oh,
Like honestly, like I think it's like episode 4 or 5. Just watch that episode. It is like I was just watching, my jaw was just like on the floor. I was like, this is what we're at now. This is crazy. Like,
yeah, those sets are absolutely incredible. I can't even imagine having that level of responsibility. They're like, here, you're in charge of this thing here, and make a good thing out of it. It's like, oh my god,
yeah,
there's all these screens and people everywhere. It's incredible.
but that's like what's wild too, is because like they came up with that. I think on Jungle Book was the movie that he started like kind of coming up with this idea, and then because the Mandalorian,
God, I have so many issues with that movie.
Because like the Mandalorian's armor is silver, it's very reflective, but like all those reflections, like those aren't done in post. That's actually the reflections of the LED screens. So like they didn't even have to do any of that stuff with like lighting, nothing. That it's just straight up like shot how it is if they were there. It's just
in Avengers Endgame, like the white time travel costumes were entirely CG added in post production.
What?
Yeah, and they changed.
They were all wearing their regular costumes when they went up to the time travel thing, and then they were like, In post production, they made those white suits are entirely CG.
That's pretty damn impressive, I gotta say.
It is. It was. I
never even thought to like even look at it close enough to be like, is that real?
No. Yep. Yeah. It's that was all back in post. In the last John Wick movie, the scene where he's doing all the fighting in the weapons museum, and he's breaking the glass and pulling out the hatchets and breaking the glass. There's no glass. All that glass is CG.
That's a good one. I didn't know that.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's so weird how like there's certain things with CG, I guess like our eyes just don't normally catch. Like obviously like environments. Almost like 90%.
Moving fast enough, you're not going to question it. I'm not going to question, oh, that's breaking glass. They could have broken a $5 piece of glass or sugar glass, or they could have spent $100,000 doing it in CG. And I'll be damned, they did.
But I mean, I think the big turnaround with like CG, or now when they don't use it, I think Disney creates everything for the most part, but whatever. Yeah. When they started adding the actors' eyes into whatever whatever they were creating, I think that was in Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Oh like, they did.
Because I remember that came out and you were like, "Holy shit!" Like that's incredible because it's his real eyes. So like your eyes are like playing tricks on you. You're like, is it real? Is it not? And then you watch like Tron Legacy, and like they didn't do that for. For when he's in the Tron world, and you're like, that looks like crap. He looks really bad. Like, why would you do that?
There's a thing called the uncanny
valley. The
valley,
worst CG face of all time is still the fake Patrick Stewart in the end of X-Men.
Oh my god! Oh,
what were they even like?
That didn't even look. It almost looked like they forgot that scene was in the movie, and like no one touched it.
Yeah, it's so awkward. Like
they're just like, oh shit! Like when they watch the movie in the theaters, they're like, oh crap, we must have forgot that. Yeah, it's so bad. I don't even.
My wife maybe watched the Twilight trilogy, and that third one has this CGI baby that's the most horrific fucking thing I've ever seen. Like. Not even on film.
I'm proud to say that I have not seen that.
Oh my god!
I almost got.
It's like a quad or something. I don't know. It's so.
I almost got suckered into watching it because Kelly knows I'm a huge I like vampires, like whatever, but like
who doesn't?
I'm really more into werewolves. So like she's like, oh, there's werewolves in it. I'm like, all right. So then, like, the second one trailer comes out and it just turns into a giant dog, and I'm like, "That's not a werewolf."
Yeah,
I'm like, "That's Arrow. That's my husky." Like, they just blew him up. I'm like, "I can't watch this. I can't do it. It's an insult to werewolves."
She catfished me with Harry Potter because she's like, "Watch Harry Potter," and I love that. So I was like, "Wow, maybe like you do know about movies." Yeah. She's like, "How about Twilight?" And I was like, "I give up now. You don't."
Yeah, Harry Potter's fun. It is what it is.
Oh yeah, I liked them. Yeah. They were fun.
I just. My biggest issue with those movies were I guess as a Godzilla fan, and you've seen Beam Wars for so many years, the best magic fights they can come up with were literally wand beams. You were like, you guys can do like crazy magic. Can we see something else? Yeah. Like, it's just, like, all right, I guess. And then, you know, the last 2 movies, they literally kill like half the characters off screen. And you're like, oh, cool. I'm glad I invested all this time into these characters.
I didn't even know which twin died. I was like, so which brother was that died?
It just dead. Whatever, no big deal.
Wait, so the owl's dead? That's it? That he's just like, see you later, owl, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, we could probably have a whole separate show just talking about practical effects in movies. I'm sure I'd learn.
Bryan's like a step away from that shit was what he does, you know? Like his cosplay is basically practical effects. There's a lot of stuff he's made that I think would hold up on screen.
I've sculpted a few masks, things like that.
Swamp Thing costume was just insane.
Thank you. Yeah, that one was fun. That was fun to make too.
All right. Damn, it's over an hour. Look at that. Time flies.
Time flies.
All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to go over? I think that was pretty much it. We went over the Misfits, Three Little Pigs.
The big thing I want to go over is how much we love the Russos and all they've done for us. We really, really appreciate you.
Big time.
It was all this weird thing that happened over a bunch of stolen fucking prototypes. Fuck that guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And, you know, your support means the world to us, man. Everybody who buys a figure, you've made this weird dream come true. I don't want to cry, but I might. No, I'm kidding. It's just like, you know, it's some shit where we never thought this was a possibility. And all of a sudden, here we are. We own a toy company. We got friends all over the world. And it's awesome. So thank you, everyone.
We had like 7 new releases this year so far. Can you believe that?
That's
like
wild, man.
We put out 7 toys this year.
Cheers.
Like,
yeah, man.
That's all you got.
Yeah, no, I'm so
thankful. All I got, man.
You guys, you know, reached out to me, you know, when we had posted about that stuff that had gone down. You're like, is it this guy? You know, and then our friendship grew from there as we were trying to eradicate that gentleman from the world.
Still around, man. I see him once in a while. I'm like, Jesus Christ. This guy,
I don't get how.
I'm glad it went that way because Kaiju Live for me in the beginning was nothing but trouble. Shaun, I think Shaun, you're the one that told me about Kaiju Live, right?
Oh, dude.
And I haven't bought anything from you guys in a while, but like in the first couple episodes, I was like, "Whoo!" And Kasha got real pissed, and that was it for me. So
that Bandai Memorial box is the one I need from my collection.
We have to send out. We have to send out invoices with like the. This was
fake
a gift.
Invoices.
Yeah, these fake invoices. That's a gift. This
is AJ's gutter cleaning service.
Yes, AJ's 3-dimensional design quote.
I'm gonna have to add that the spouse invoice feature.
Yeah.
Check this box if you would like.
We'll add a little thing that says, "Congratulations, you won."
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I've been killing it with raffles lately, man. I got.
Kelly's been killing it on like not toy raffles. Like we got a like nice wagon for Abby, and then we got like a nice little patio set.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just got an X Plus Batra.
Woo.
Right?
Did that thing impress the hell out of you? Because like,
oh yeah, it's huge.
No one talks about that figure, and it's probably one of their best. But for whatever reason,
when I saw the box get dropped off, I was like, "What is this? A refrigerator?"
Yeah. The only thing I would have to complain about that figure is that was my first ever Rick figure, and so you know how the tail goes on, like the back end of the tail, Bryan.
Just yeah.
So the Rick version, they literally stick it in his tail. So in order to even turn it on or off, you have to pop off the back end of his tail.
The tail off?
Yeah, it was like, what is this?
What?
Yeah, I have never seen a worse design, and that's pretty much why most of my figures, if the Rick option is a light up, I don't even bother.
I don't have any of it. I don't. I almost never go for the Rick if it's a light up.
Yeah, they do some cool ones now, like with like now the face plate is like almost like a nameplate now, so it's like, you know, it's got like the movie title or the year on it, so like that's cool.
Yeah,
But
that's
the
cool.
Bachelor one was just like, who made this? Like, yeah, let me heat up this tail with the battery pack in it so I can turn this on for 10 minutes. That's what I want to do. Like, but aside from that, the figure is unbelievable, and yeah, it's insane. Was it like almost 2 feet long? More than that?
Yeah. That thing, I think it's like 16 or 17 inches. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that figure doesn't get enough love. Maybe it's just because it's a Bachelor larva, but it's funny. Like if you have the Mothra larva and you put it next to Bachelor, you're like, how are they even related?
Yeah.
And Mothra looks like it would be something that Bachelor like eats as like a snack. He's like, oh, yeah, little snacky snack.
It's like a wiggling poop.
But all right, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for giving us our first Kaiju Live exclusive. Let's show it off one more time, Bryan. You got it? Go full screen. So again, this is the Kaiju Live static signal version. There it is with the header card with our Kaiju Live logo on there. Officially licensed. You can get this over at kaijulive.shop, and we should have these next week to be well, these will be shipping out late next week. So thank you both so much for coming on. Thank you for all the help. Thanks for being great friends. It's nice to, you know, make some new friends in this crazy world that we got going on. So thank you all so much. Like and subscribe, and check out, be on the lookout for more content from Kaiju Live. What do you guys got? You guys can end it. Go ahead.
We need a jingle. We don't have a Hot Toys jingle yet. We need a jingle.
Get high on plastic. That's the way.
Get high on plastic. Hot Toys.
Have a good night, everybody.
See you guys.
Just hold on a second, guys.